We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your podcast host, Hanju Lee, and you are listening to Better Golf Daily, where I introduce one concept, one research-backed idea, and one thing you can take straight to the golf course. Let's go. You are standing over a putt inside 3 feet. Not just once, but 4 different times on 4 different holes. At a US Open local qualifier, and 4 times you missed it, which made you miss a playoff spot by exactly 1 shot. Now, what do you do with that? Most guys, they bury it. They tell themselves it was just a bad day and move on. Or maybe quit competitive golf altogether. But this guy didn't do either. He turned that single afternoon into the foundation of a 20-year career. This is episode 3 of our 5-part series. I'm calling it Close the Gap. Built around a new book called Everyday Golf Psychology by Jared Tendler. If you've been with me for the past 2 episodes, you know the setup, right? Episode 1, we talked about why golf is 90% mental, is actually misleading way you think about it. And Tendler's real argument is that mental game decides the gap between your best round and your worst ones, not your overall talent. Episode 2, we got into luck and how golfers who play their best consistently aren't the ones who get better breaks. They're the ones who can name a bad break and move on from it fast. And today, we're going to do something a little different. We're not explaining a mental mechanism this time. We already did an episode on why golfers choke, the tension and overthinking part of it. So today is about what you do after. And nobody is a better case study than the author of this book himself. Jared Tendler wasn't always this golfer, poker player, Wall Street trader, flying to fix their heads kind of guy. In 1997, he was just a college kid, a 3-time All-American at a Division III Skidmore, someone who dreamt of playing professionally. And at that US Open local qualifier, he had his shot. Instead, he missed 4 putts inside 3 feet. 4 putts. And that's not one unlucky roll. That is a pattern showing up under pressure over and over in the same round. And he missed the playoff by 1 shot. Tendler didn't spend the next few years telling himself he just needed to toughen up or trust it more. He went and got a master's degree in counseling psychology. He became a licensed therapist. And by 2005, he started applying that training specifically to golfers, trying to figure out in a practical, no-nonsense way why smart, skilled people fall apart under pressure and what actually fixes it. That 1 round didn't just haunt him. It became the question he's now spending over 20 years answering. For who? For tour pros, for major poker champions, for people managing real money under real pressure. And here's a twist that makes this more than a nice backstory. In 2013, Tendler qualified for the US Mid-Am shooting 2 under. The same guy who couldn't make a 3-footer at a local qualifier in 1997 went on to solve it well enough to qualify for a national championship 16 years later. He didn't get there by forgetting that day at the qualifier. He got there by refusing to let it just be a bad memory. He made it into data. So here's a question for you. Think about your worst hole, your worst round, the one that still leaves a bit of a wound when you think back on it. Most of us do 1 or 2 things with that memory. We either push it away, change the subject in our own head, or we replay it just to punish ourselves, which isn't the same as learning from it. Neither one gets you anywhere. What Tendler did instead was slow down and get specific. Not I choked, but exactly what happened. Was it the read? Was it the speed? Was it his mind racing ahead, what the putt meant instead of staying on the stroke itself? That kind of specific breakdown is what turns a bad memory into direction. So next time you have a round that leaves that kind of ache, try to write it down, even just 3 sentences, what actually happened in the moment that went sideways. Not the result, but the moment. What were you thinking right before the shot? That's the version of the story that's actually useful to you. Your worst round isn't a proof of who you are. It's just the most detailed data you'll ever get on what you need to work on next. Use it that way, and even your bad days start pulling you forward instead of just weighing you down. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Talk to you next time. Until then, use the pain. Don't just survive it. Bye for now.